I remember when I went to the Golden Girls pop-up, I was so disappointed. They ended up giving me my money back. No, yeah. So I thought it was going to be like Golden Girl enthusiasts, like working people that knew whatever. I think they just hired people that were like waiters and actresses. I mean, like just in the food industry, but they did not exude any Golden Girl like
energy.
Yes. The food was nasty. Oh, no. So I had to get the vegan option because they can't, differentiate dairy. Yeah. Oh. And it was some lasagna. It had carrots in it. I hate carrots.
Carrots in lasagna is horrific.
I hate carrots.
That doesn't go in lasagna, y'all.
Carrots go in the trash, and that's it. Like, I don't like carrots.
Not go in lasagna.
Not like carrots.
What? Why would you put carrots in lasagna?
Yeah, and then it took a long time. I went by myself, so I was seated like at the bar, and they had like a designated time for us to go in, but they supposedly called my name, probably like Bobby, party of one. Like I was sitting right, I
real
didn't hear it.
You
Yeah,
couldn't even,
and so they gave my seat away, and then they had to sit me somewhere else, and then it took a long time. I got my little cheesecake to go, and I think that was okay. Did it come with a cocktail? I think that was like an add-on. Yeah, I think it was okay. I think it was an add-on. Like it was. I can't remember because I had such a bad experience.
Yeah.
Other than being able to take a picture on the iconic green leaf thing,
Yeah.
I did not enjoy myself, and I wrote them like a nice letter about it, and I was like, you guys did not do Blanche, Rose, Dorothy, and Sophia justice. I was like, this is you could at least had hostesses that like knew about the vibe. They ran me all my money, and it was like $100 or something, because it's supposed to be like a 3-course thing, and it may not have been that much. That's a lie. That is a lie. It was like it was $59. Let me not say.
I mean, but
60.
your efforts. You're getting ready. You got dressed. You might have bought an outfit. You probably got your hair done.
No, my hair stayed done.
Well, stay done. Period.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay, guys, welcome to another episode of Dairy Free Game. I'm excited to have my girlfriend Andrea with me today. She is out here visiting, so I wanted to make sure that she came by the studio and just gave you guys some pretty much free game. So Andrea Daughtry is a singer, songwriter, stylist, and nonprofit founder, a vegan enthusiast in her own right that loves educating her community about wellness. Now, before we get into all that, we're going to do this episode like we do every episode. We're going to taste this food first.
Okay.
She's a vegan, and so let me just do this.
Mm-hmm. But y'all, the sound, the way you hear it like oozing out of this situation right now, it's about to get, okay.
Don't even eat yet.
Okay.
We gotta set up.
I feel like the little kid where you like, don't touch it.
Y'all see how creamy this is? Look. Regular enchiladas don't do that. I'm sorry, they be crusty. The cheese be dried up. Y'all swear by that little cheese.
This is such a good touch. I've never had a vegan enchilada.
Never? That's crazy. Yeah.
Which it is.
It's crazy.
You got my board.
Oh, here, girl.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So I was originally supposed to do banana pudding, but we're getting ready to go to Urban Dessert Lab, and we're going to have dessert there. So I want to do something savory. This is a potato and mushroom enchilada.
And you know I love a shroom.
Yes. So we're going to give it a taste.
Okay, let's see.
I ain't even tasted it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't deserve me.
Mm-mm.
Y'all really.
Wow. That's flavor.
I make a mushroom and crab enchilada that's kind of similar.
Oh my gosh. And I love like how creamy it is. This is like melting in my mouth.
Mm-hmm. So I use the Miyoko's mozzarella.
That's your girl. That's your girl.
These are you saying Miko, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's the round mozzarella ball.
Mm-hmm.
And,
you showed me.
And I mix it with the cream, with the mushroom and the potatoes. And then I take the Daya mozzarella.
Oh, we love how Daya has like upgraded themselves. They got it
that
together.
cheddar, I don't like it, but
the other, like, They've gotten better
The
in terms
mozzarella?
of everything melting and like consistency wise. Because diet was at the bottom of the list for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they have. But I mixed the enchilada sauce with the diet in order to make it creamy, and then like season that with garlic and salt and a little taco seasoning.
I just got the sauce. This is crazy. Okay.
Come on.
See, somebody get this lady a restaurant now.
Listen, somebody give this lady a man. I don't need it.
No, because we need you out of the house. He gonna keep you inside.
And he do.
He's gonna keep you inside. You gonna be flat-footed, cooking all the time. This is bomb.
I want to start this
Wow.
interview, but
Girl,
I need a little minute.
this is the best first enchilada I could have asked for.
Oh, good.
Like, this is a great introduction. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think
I'm surprised. Like,
because I was always nervous about, I'm not a fan of like soft textures when it comes to like taco, like corn tortilla, and like I've just never been into soft tortilla. So this is what scared me about this.
I only like fried corn tortillas.
Yep.
But with enchiladas, you get it's a different thing. It's
Yeah,
supposed
I
to be
see.
soft. And what I do is I flash fry the enchilada shells first.
There it is.
So it's not
There it
that
is.
hard.
Because it's not,
like,
yeah.
Yes. A little bit more pliable.
That's a hack, friend.
But
That's a hack. Like, the flash frying.
oh yeah, see,
Yeah, how you
we're
did this?
giving out tips early.
Yeah, you gave a tip.
We're giving
I've
out-
never heard of anybody doing that.
Mm.
Yeah. Flavor, phenomenal.
Oh my god.
This is seasoned to perfection. And it's got a little kick on there, too, which I like.
I put chopped jalapenos.
Yep. See? She's not going to forget that kick.
We're gonna have a tip.
Mm-hmm.
And Kenyon over here, he said he didn't even want to try the enchiladas because
You
he
tripping.
doesn't like cheese, but he eats pizza. So
Now, Kenyon. How you, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
he knows how crazy it sounds,
Okay.
but he didn't even want to try it, and he doesn't like mushrooms. So
But
it's
I
fine.
will say, what? No.
I know a couple
friend.
of people that don't like mushrooms, and our
But you know,
friendship
I
is
was
in
like
question
that.
a little
Yeah,
bit. Like,
but I
yeah.
will say I was that girl. Like, yes, before I really like dove into this wellness life, I was not a fan of mushrooms at all. Like, you couldn't
Was
even
it?
eat them.
What was it about it?
It was a texture thing, and I learned that I had to cook them a certain way for me to like them. If it was giving mush or like rubbery, then I'm out. But anyone that I've encountered now where I know how they're being cooked and I understand what's happening, I need either like a nice firm, you know what I'm saying? I can like easily get through it.
This is
See,
pineapple sauce, so we forgot to even put
no,
that
we
on
even
there.
come on.
When I'm
Now
done,
what?
but I want
But
you to
like
live.
if it's like a nice little, like this texture is perfect. This is like meaty, you know what I'm saying? So it's either this texture or like a little crisp on it.
Yeah, like a little fried.
Yeah.
Like how we had at the Lamar
Yes.
Park thing.
Exactly.
That was good.
Then I'm good. Outside of that, I don't want it.
Okay, yeah, so let's talk about, do you remember how we met or what year? I feel like it was, it had to have been almost 10 years ago because I haven't done the accessory business since like 2015 or something like that. And we had, so I had an accessory business
Yeah.
and I decided to go to New York and do a pop-up at this restaurant. What was the name? I mean, not restaurant.
So remember, I didn't go to that pop-up.
It was a boutique. It was in
Yes.
Brooklyn.
Yes, it was
And I
in
was
Brooklyn.
so scared. First of all, I was trucking all this stuff on the train, and I actually got assaulted on the train. Not like crazy,
Yeah.
but it was a guy that was mentally challenged next to me,
Oh, wow.
and he literally like just shoved me out of the blue.
Oh,
And I'm like paranoid because I'm not from New York, and yes, I've been many times, but I was on the train alone. I had all this product. I didn't know what was happening. So then they stopped the train, and then the police come, and then all of the passengers are like rolling their eyes at me, like they want me to hurry up. That's why I know like New York is not a place for everybody to go, because if you think that you're about to get some kind of care or attention or like consolement, as it relates to somebody being late for work. It ain't happening. They was just like, if you don't, either you get off so we can go, or like,
it's giving nobody cares.
Yeah, they didn't care. So I make it there, and we set up. It was beautiful. So I decided that I wanted to have sponsors, and I think they paid like $25. They had their product in the gift bag. And you had a partner at the time, and I think she's the one that came.
Yes. So the way that you got in touch with us, you ended up emailing her, actually. So she's the one that got the initial email, was like, hey, and she's a Brooklynite. She's, born there, like from there. So at the time, I really wasn't that familiar with New York. I had gone maybe before to like sing or something, but I hadn't really spent time on the business side of it. But that was like home for her, so she was there very often. And she's like, we got this email, this woman wants to put some samples in, whatever. And I was like, all right, whatever, like
it's $25.
Yeah, I didn't care. So she handled all of that. I just remember making them, little sample size, whatever, the little minis, and we trucked it up there because I had to be at another pop up that was in the plaza that day, so we kind of split up, and so she was there. And then I was in the plaza doing.
So how did we? Do you remember how we ended up?
Because afterwards you were like, "Oh, let's go eat."
Of course I did.
Yeah.
Of course I said, "Let's go eat."
And that was a disaster.
I can't even remember because
it was so we were trying to go to Red Rooster. I remember this like yesterday. We were trying to go to Red Rooster, but Red Rooster was like giving us, "Oh, it's gonna be out in 45 minutes," like something stupid. So we was like, "Hell no, we're gonna go." And so it happened to be like this French restaurant next door, directly.
I remember that. Yes,
boom.
yes.
And we walked in, and you wasn't having it from the moment we got. You was like, get this table right. This table's wobbling. The lady had to come put the piece of paper at the bottom of the table so it can level out. We got the food. He was like, this is horrible. Take it back.
Fast forward. Did I invite you afterwards to go to my auntie's? Was that same day?
It was either the same day or like next day. It was right close because one of us had to go, at some point. And yeah, I think that was that. Either the same day or the next day.
We was on a rooftop having a little vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've been friends pretty much ever since. Every time you come to town, you stay with me if you can, or we link up. And you've given me a lot of game on vegan and things that I could do, because around that time I was just getting into the dairy-free lifestyle, and I was a little bit defeated because I didn't know that space, and I didn't know what substitutes I could use for cheese, and I didn't know how things tasted.
And you figured that out more so than me in terms of your combos, like the way you cook and the way you put things together to really mimic well cheese is not even the way but that's the chef in you. But
also it's different when like you're vegan and you focus more on you want to be healthy. I'm focused on being dairy free because I have to be. So I'm not necessarily concerned with the health part. So I'll do a fatty this or fatty that. You will be more fruits and veggie focused, and it doesn't have any cheese in it to begin with. So you don't have to find a substitute. It's like, well, I don't drink any kind of milk, so I don't need almond milk. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't drink, I don't eat cheese, so it's no substitute. But I've still learned, just how you, those tacos you made.
Yo, I made some last night. I was like, I should have brought Bobby some.
Why didn't you bring me some?
Because you was cooking, so I was like, okay,
you didn't think that I would be hungry at a later time and could
we were like
that?
doing a vegan food tour today, so I was like, well, maybe she
don't. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, when is it going to be time for tacos?
Yeah.
I mean, but I can still pack it up.
You can. Okay, it's really about the flavors. Like, that's all it is. If you give people the right flavors, they can adapt to any dietary restrictions.
Absolutely.
Gluten-free, vegan. Now let's talk about vegan.
Okay.
How hard has it been for you to find healthy vegan stuff? Because I remember we were going one place and you was like, yeah, I'm about to eat some trash. And I was like, Can vegan be trash? Like, is that like a
Absolutely.
yes?
So, of course, what we've been sold is vegan is this, great healthy lifestyle. Now, it can be and it cannot be. So, just like, if you're
Can't
going
eat potatoes all day.
okay, and white flour and like a bunch of starchy things, like it can get fatty. Like, I'm not a skinny girl. Okay, so you can absolutely eat vegan and still be a hefty size if you don't watch your carbs, or your starch intake. So just like anything, processed foods across the board, whether it's vegan or not, is not healthy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the purpose of being vegan, we're supposed to be making our items from scratch as much as we can. So I should be making my sausages and I should be making my meats and things like that. But who got the time? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Housewife.
See, we're working towards that. But on the go, now we have these vegan alternatives. And so if you are not paying attention to the ingredients in those vegan alternatives, they can be just as unhealthy as meat or, other processed foods in the store. So that's now one of the biggest things we have to watch out for in terms of being unhealthy in that space.
Yeah,
now,
I think sometimes we just trade it off for like one devil for the other. So people say, oh, is being dairy free, like having this dairy free cheese, better? And I said, it depends on what better is. Like, you don't get the mucus, but sometimes it's higher calories, or they're
higher
adding something else, higher in salt, because you're trying to mimic something that naturally has that. And also, lactose free and dairy free are two different things.
Two totally different things.
So
and you gotta watch that. Yes.
Yes. Sometimes people are like, oh, I get my lactose free. I'm like, well, it's still dairy products. It's just there's an enzyme that eats away at the lactose, which is pretty much the sugar that's in dairy. So yeah, we gotta watch out for that.
It's definitely that. And like, I'm not really potato-y, and I'm not really like super starchy. Like, I don't eat a whole bunch of rice and a whole bunch of potatoes. So I'm really trying to move towards the raw vegan, but I feel like that's when I get in a certain lifestyle, because you need time for that. Raw vegan is absolutely making everything you can, from scratch, and really prepping.
Now, when you say raw vegan, that means uncooked, correct?
Uncooked.
Why would anybody want to do that?
So not necessarily uncooked, right?
Okay,
so
that's
cooked at a low temperature, so no more than 200.
Okay, so what's something so pretty much like a flash, like before it turns really soft, like where all the nutrients are still intact. Like, you can put the broccoli in the oven at 200.
200. So we're talking about dehydrated things.
Okay.
Or, if you're making like your breads or your pizza rounds or things like that, literally cooking this item, whatever it is, at 200.
And you calling it a pizza? Like, is that a thing?
It's a thing. And once you get into it, now, of course, it's very specific ingredients to create, the little crust and the different things. But once you get into that, you'll see what I mean.
I gotta see,
the things are bomb. Like, people are coming up with some combos that are crazy. And I'm not talking about just juicing, because
I get it. What's the place they closed down? It was called Make Out. It was in Culver City. Remember, I took you there.
Yes, that was
and they
a while
had
ago.
It was the kelp noodles with that's what got me liking arugula. I never liked arugula.
Same.
And I had it with that. It was peppery, and then I normally don't like. It had olives in it, I think.
Yeah.
I normally don't like olives, but it acted as a salt.
Yes. And even arugula is a very strong peppery.
Yeah, it's very peppery.
It's very peppery. So, like, those combinations, and it's like a lot of different foods have flavors like that. And we don't unlock them because we're not eating them raw. So,
right. And you can have like arugula mixed with mango, mixed with avocado. You can add crab, and then you can do like a lemon citrus vinaigrette. That's
it's a moment. It's a moment.
It really is.
So the raw life is really playing on the actual flavors of all of it. So your fruits, your veggies, your nuts.
So it's not hidden, like it's not maxed by preservatives and stuff. It's like you can
Yes.
actually taste, like it's like going to the farmer's market
Right.
and you taste a strawberry and it tastes so good, but it's really just a strawberry, but it's the whole processing. It's
Yes.
like without the pesticides.
Yep.
It's you know,
Without
locally
being
sourced.
sprayed
Yeah,
or
like
whatever.
even
Yeah.
the honey. You keep telling me to get this honey. She tells me to get this
Honey.
honey. She's been telling me for like 6 years.
Honey.
Have I got it? I have not got the
It
honey.
saved my life,
Every time
literally.
I get sick, or she said, "Oh, you need to get locally sourced honey." And it's something about the air.
Yep, the enzymes, and when your honey is local, so meaning local meaning no more than 100 miles. So that beekeeper and those bees and that honey has to be within 100 miles of where you are. Them feeding off of the trees and the plants that are within that radius makes you immune to what's happening.
That's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
I didn't know that.
So that's how it works. So when I, was younger, I had really, really terrible, like wake up with my eyes glued shut allergies. Like it was bad. So when somebody told me about that, I was like, all right, it sounds kind of crazy, but let me try it. So I started just taking spoonfuls, like in the morning or whatever, or just putting it in my tea. And I noticed an obvious difference to where the seasons were coming and going, and I was like, oh, I don't have allergies anymore. Like it was gone. Like I don't even have a sniffle. I could eat the flower, put the flower in my nose, the pollen, like it's giving. I don't have allergies anymore, and so it was. So I got my dad on it. I put anyone around me on it, and they were noticing the same thing. So it works if you work it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we're talking about allergies and just different things that are going on with our body, what are some natural remedies that work for you, whether you're sick or something with your skin? Like, what can you actually ingest instead of putting like man-made medicines in your body?
So the first thing when I feel something is coming or start feeling funny, you want to start with 2 gallons of water and 2 gallons of alkaline water.
2 gallons, like back to like
Whole day. You
that,
just filling your bottle up.
Time out. I'm not
Friend.
saying you wrong.
Friend?
But let me tell you. No. I'm not saying you wrong, but that's not right for me. Like it's hard for me to consume a gallon of water. Like I literally, first of all, was pissing all day.
You go to it.
But then also I felt like very bloated. Like I felt like I had too much liquid in me. And I like the 8 ounces 8 times. 64 ounces is the average. So you're telling me you want me to do like 2.5 what the normal thing is in one day?
In one day. So, and
Why
if
would
you
you want me to
can't,
do that?
and if you can't, do the 1 gallon, right? Which is doable, because
You got to start at like 2 a.m. and
No, you
do it on a.
No, you
'cause
don't.
I go to bed at 10. Like I wake. No, but seriously,
If you
because
have that
you're
cup-
drinking constant, so you want me to drink constantly all day, not have a job, not go on a date, not talk, not cackle with my friends. You literally want me to just drink.
because if you're not feeling
nonstop?
good, that's gonna do it, right? Because first you need to hydrate and flush. You gotta
Water
hydrate and flush.
at your discretion, but
At your discretion, but if you can do 2 gallons, do it. But if you just gotta start with 1, because it goes by. If you have that nice straw and that little jug that you're carrying around, you're not even noticing how much water you're drinking. You're just downing. You know what I'm saying? Every time you're thinking of it, you on the computer, you're doing whatever thing you're doing, you just sipping.
okay, let's move on from the water. What else? Give me something else.
Start there.
Okay.
And so then I do this tea. So my tea, and the vegans might fight me because honey is like a.
Well, we're happy to fight.
It's
We're happy. That's what we do. Yeah. Okay, so the honey. Let's get back.
Honey. Okay, so you want to start with honey. So I do honey, fresh lemon. I'm getting fresh organic lemons. Of course, water to boil it, and then you want to do cayenne pepper. So I boil that up. Bomb tea.
So like the master cleanse, pretty much.
Like, yeah, but I boil mine. So you want to drink it hot. And that's going to pretty much settle down anything that's happening here. So it's, cleansing all the mucus out, literally acting as that cleanse. And then alongside that water, that pretty much starts the party. So then you're going to see whatever's happening start to process out. So if it's here, if it's in here, you're going to start coughing. Everything's going to start draining.
No, yeah, I've definitely had that. I had COVID and I took the meds that they gave me, but I still was having this lingering thing.
Yeah.
Especially having asthma, and nothing would work. And so my
ginger is the other ingredient. I'm forgetting something.
Belle brought over. She Instacarted a whole little care package, and it was like lemons, coconut oil. This girl wanted, first of all, she wanted me to eat the coconut oil like raw, like just, hey, coconut oil in my mouth. Like I couldn't do it, but she said that it would surely get me where I needed to go. But I just found another way to get to where I wanted to go, because I couldn't get past it. But
the coconut oil,
she had the lemon, so I did lemon, and I boiled it, and I did a steam.
Yes.
So I just put my face over the
absolutely.
thing.
So if you can't drink it,
listen, that breathing, right on
immediately.
Right
immediately. Absolutely.
Everything we need to heal ourselves is in the earth. And the thing is that a lot of times we can just eat healthier and it be like a preventative, but then we're too far gone. So then we have to resort to like a prescription or something that's harsher for our bodies, because we're past the point of no return.
Yeah. And, which was my reason for even moving into a vegan lifestyle, because I just kept getting sick. Like, the meat was just not agreeing with me. I was getting food poisoning back to back, and I was like, okay, it's not.
How long have you been vegan?
This is going on like 12 years.
Okay, so let's get into the vegan social, the Afro vegan social, and for the Femin You, you're doing a lot of things, so many talents. Like, I feel like that's partly why we connected, is because we don't just do one thing. Like, I feel like your purpose is to be uplifting to your community, and depending on what day, we don't know what that looks like. Afro vegan social and for the Femin You.
Yes, so the Afro Vegan Social is something that I created because I wanted to combine everything I was passionate about. So I was passionate about clearly vegan food, fashion, and music, and the livelihood of, the people that are involved. So I'm passionate about putting other business owners and other DJs and, other talents in the room. So the Afro Vegan Social connects all of that. It's a small fashion segment. It's live women DJs. These are black women, which is also like this. It's known in the industry, but they don't really get the respect, that they should have. So with For the Femin You, we make sure that we're centering women, specifically women of color, in everything that we do. So you have 3 to 4 vegan chefs that come together, make all these amazing, food, like tasting style, and you pay your ticket and you get to eat from all of those chefs. You enjoy a fashion segment, the live DJs, and then we also have the small businesses that are vending and, are showcasing their products. So it's a really fun time. We're going on tour with that. So we started in Richmond. It's coming to LA. It's coming to New York. And we'll also do New Orleans in the fall. So
okay. Can we purchase these things at your
pop-ups?
Like,
you absolutely can. So at any given time, there's always an assortment of jewelry, accessories, and clothing, based on the offerings in that moment. Like the Andrea Shops For You line, which is the stylist, the buyer, the curator. I have an assortment of things throughout the year, based on who I'm connected to in terms of my sourcing in that moment. There's been a lot of Kenyan and Nigerian and South African pieces coming through more lately. So, there's a lot of brass, there's big gaudy earrings, there's little quirky African outfits, whatever. So those pieces kind of flow as they come in. You can also find butter babes, which is clearly the whipped shea butter line out there as well. But yeah, it's going to be an assortment. You never know what you get, which is the fun part.
And you do still have the Protect Black Women?
So the Protect Black Women merchandise, the t-shirts, now they're in different color waves. So, yeah. it's pretty fun.
Okay. And how long you gonna be out here? I forgot to ask.
So I'll be here through the 11th. So tomorrow, she called me at the right time.
Right. Listen, I thought it was the 12th. I was like, I can't remember.
But I'm back the first week of August for Sika's block party.
Oh, so you are gonna come back for that? Yes. So, first of all, I love Sika. I call him the Black Sean Connery.
Period.
And I've known him since I was 19. He pierced my nose. I kept the same nose ring. Now, what does Sika have on his page? He was like, if I didn't pierce your nose, don't have your nose pierced.
Literally.
And how old was Sika when
83.
he passed? 83.
83.
Just a beautiful man. His shop had been there
30 plus years.
Yeah, 30 plus years. I would go back there. I would cook for him sometimes.
Yeah.
But when I went, me and all my best friends, we went, I think they were 18, I was 19. And he handcrafted the actual,
Of course.
That piercing. Nose pin. Yeah. And then it was at a point. He just made it sharp. And then he just took his finger and squeezed it down. And then he would take like some pliers or something and he would just make a loop. So in order for you to get rid of it, you would have to like cut it out. I kept it in. I never took it out until 2 years ago because I wanted a nose ring. But the gauge was so small that from far away people didn't see it. And people that have known me since I got the nose piercings, they would see me and be like, when did you get the nose pierced? It's been pierced since I've known you, but it was just so small. So when I went to swap out the hoop, I thought it was just going to be an easy swap, but the gauge that he made, it doesn't exist. Like he made it. So I had to pretty much get a re-piercing for the most part. And this was the smallest gauge they had, but Sika was on some, no, we wanted real petite, we wanted real pretty.
No, it was
that gauge was like point negative
lady.
0.
Yes.
Oh my God. All my little hammer pants, what they call them, harem.
Oh, yeah. Harem pants, yeah.
I would just go in there with no intention of buying anything, just going to say hi.
Oh, you're coming out with something.
Yes, every single time. So, yeah, I can't wait for the block party.
Yeah, the block party is going to be lit. I'm really glad they're having it because everything leading, up to now has been kind of other people's, celebrations. So this is something that the actual family and, close friends get to plan that is specifically catered to remembering him and honoring him. So, yeah, like nothing but great things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get back into this vegan food. Okay. When you come to visit, where are some go-to places that you have to go that have good food? You know how I am.
Yeah.
Like if I was to be like, take me to the spot that's gonna make me want to, put a call in.
What's solid when I can't think in a moment, right? When I'm just like, okay, I don't feel like doing too much research.
Like,
the Grand Cafe, they have held me down. I mean, they are consistent.
The Grand Cafe, where's that?
The Grand Cafe. So there's a couple different locations. The one I always have gone to is the one on the corner of Pico and Crenshaw.
Oh, you said, is it the Grand?
Yeah, the Grand Cafe.
I thought you said Grand. I've been to the Grand. Yes, I actually did like it.
Yeah, consistent. And whether you want breakfast, lunch, or dinner, like, you're going to be happy with what?
Yeah, I don't remember, like, going back. Like, I went one time, and I know my food was good, but it wasn't, like, a memorable, like, Little Pine. The place I took you, where anytime somebody will listen, I'll be like, let's go to Little Pine, let's do this, let's do that. But it was good.
Yeah, it's I like them because they don't do too much to where anything overpowers. So if you need to add some hot sauce, or you need to add a thing, you can, and you can make your food to what you want it to be. Now, is it going to be like full on Bobby flavor? Absolutely not.
I mean, it's anything, but
it's anything.
The people must try. What are some other places?
I don't know, Bobby. I'm not good at.
You should have this.
You take me everywhere.
Yes. So I'm gonna tell you.
Let's go.
I like Crossroads.
Okay.
I still haven't been to. I think is it Gracias Madre? It's a Mexican place.
Yeah, I think I went there one time. I wasn't.
You wasn't impressed, and that's probably why I wasn't. Yeah. Little Pine, of course, and I don't know if they're still in business. There's a place called Seabirds. Did I take you to Seabirds? They have the fries, the zippy fries, by my house.
Ooh.
It was like an outdoor. That's a vegan restaurant.
Okay.
They're good.
Okay.
There was a place called Hungry Angelina's. They're closed down. That's Long Beach second,
You
and
ain't taking me
it's hard
nowhere.
out here for
You ain't
a
taking me
restaurant.
nowhere, friend.
You're lying. And then there's the Wild Chive, which is Long Beach as
Okay,
well.
I remember that.
Yes.
Yes.
So while I was there,
I
I
like
was
them.
utilizing. But now that I'm back over here on the
Yeah.
kind of south side, I'm trying to get more into
I really
the vegan
enjoyed the
space
Wild
over there.
Chive.
Yeah.
That was solid.
Yeah.
I
They had some
remember.
things I didn't like, but they did have some things that I thought were amazing. I want to get more into finding places that have dairy-free options so that people can experience that, like that eat meat. As I'm talking to people, they don't want to be vegan, but they do want to give up dairy.
Yeah,
Like,
and
yeah,
I
so-
don't push it down people's throats, right? Like, and that's what all my friends enjoy about me. Is more of a like, well, maybe lay off this a little bit or minimize your intake of that, increase because the goal is like you're supposed to have like this much meat on your plate. Like I know,
Like, what is that? An ounce and a half?
maybe half an ounce. Like
Who
that's,
said? Who said that?
I mean, the dietitians and the holistic people. Hey, it's not.
Okay,
I'm not.
So what else is supposed to be on your plate?
It's
and what's
literally
the
supposed to
ratio?
be mostly fruits, vegetables, grains.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know,
I get
this
that.
must be. Yeah, so it's like because meat, it takes your body through a lot to process,
Yeah.
and that's what causes all those other things, right? So if you could up your fruits and vegetables, that's my goal. Like, hey, let's decrease this, up this, and then find some balance.
If I was eating all the stuff that I'm supposed to be eating, I would decrease some of the bad stuff because
Yeah.
I don't even eat a lot. So
Right.
if I'm full, I'm not eating anything. For today, I'm gonna be fat. I'm gonna go ahead and
Oh, yeah, we
just
going
let-
in.
Yeah, we gonna go ahead and
Yeah,
let that
it's not.
flourish. But
You know,
yeah,
we've started.
yeah. So
But I mean, it's also an environmental thing too, right? So I do believe that America is overeating on all fronts. Like we are overproducing.
we're over
overeating.
everything. Like it's
We're over
fast fashion. If there's a catchphrase, the next week, the next day a shirt is out.
Yeah.
And then it's constantly,
Yeah.
and we want things fast. That's why
I'm like,
our
I
attention
remember
span is so
when Beyonce
short.
was at her concert and the person that was in the crowd had her whole outfit on and she was like, how did you get my outfit? Like it's that quick. When we're talking about the environmental side of it, we do desperately need to stop, like overproducing animals and the way we are producing the amount of waste is
Yeah.
insane. We have so much waste that we're sending it to other countries and polluting their, spaces with our waste. Like that's pretty insane.
Yeah.
To think about on that scale. So if we literally just decrease our meat intake, everything else, will follow.
For me, I know that I am a snacker. Like I do like to eat sometimes just to get flavors just inside.
Yeah.
And so I just make sure that I control the narrative. Like
I've had
I
that.
don't have potatoes in my home unless I have an event or unless I have guests. I always have a rice because that's just an easy, low cost thing. But I don't normally buy bread. I don't buy cookies because, of course, most of them have dairy. I'm not a snacker, but when I'm hungry or when I want something, it's whatever's in my thing. So
And see,
if there's
I'm
only
the complete opposite. Oh, I love a snack. I need that crunch. Give me my chips. But for me, I had to replace the bad,
have
with-
you had the
with good
spicy
things.
tempura crisp
No,
from
see,
Trader Joe's?
This is some foolishness.
It's seaweed. It's seaweed. Oh, we gotta go to Trader Joe's
See?
today.
Friend.
No, it's because I do need the crunch. I
And
am
not.
I am a snacker. I'm not a junk food eater. That's what I would say.
Okay,
like I don't
yeah.
eat candy. I
And
don't
see, I was. So when I
never
switched
was.
into this life, I had to literally replace, those things with good versions of those snacks. So I still want, the chewy thing. So then I replaced that with the dried mangoes. Okay. All right. I love me a dried mango from Trader Joe's. Okay. They need to sponsor this. Because we love
run
a
me the money, TJ.
Let's go, because we be in there, okay? The dried mangoes, the baked chips or the keto chips, which are better. They don't have like all the trans fat and all the bad stuff. Grapes. I love fruits and nuts. Like I love a dried cranberry or a raisin in my stuff. So Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
like
Give me all my
raisins.
nuts. Give
No,
me
no.
my trail mix. It's giving, handful of that, handful of this. I'm a snacker. So
Yeah.
when I go somewhere, my little lunchbox is full of those little nibbles.
Little charcuterie packets, if
Yeah,
you
no,
will. Yeah.
literally, right? So, it's all about the choices you're making. And you're doing great with not buying breads and cookies. You're doing fantastic.
But when I go out, and I'm most of the time will get a burger because it does have the bread. But sometimes
You love a burger, though.
I do. We about to go get slutty vegan right now. But sometimes I know that like I shouldn't have the bread, and so sometimes I like pray that the bread has dairy in it so it can be protein style, and then I'll have the fries because I'm gonna get the fries and the burger. I mean, and the and the bun.
And I've never been a huge potato girl.
Stop it.
But see, it's stuff like this. And now I'm like, okay, where the potatoes at?
Yeah.
and now if a French fry is in front of me, I'm eating those fries.
Yeah.
Nice and hot.
I love them prepared any kind of way. Mash,
See,
scalloped, fried,
doing that.
roasted, hash browns. Like any it don't matter how to potato salad. Like it.
Yeah.
I just love a potato. That's why I don't keep it in the house.
Yeah,
because I already know.
And even if they're in the house, like potatoes they just don't come to my mind when I'm cooking, like at all.
I think they're good. They're good fillers and they're cheap.
They are good fillers.
I can get a big 50-pound bag of potatoes from Restaurant Depot for $10.
Yeah.
I mean the
that's
process
amazing.
to cut them and stuff.
Of
Like
course.
if I want them to peel it, it is, but it's the most cost effective
It
like
is cost
stretcher.
effective. I ain't gonna fight you there. It's just I'm trying to. I got 30 pounds from the pandemic to get rid of because I was.
You was pandemicing.
I was pandemicing. It was giving tacos and toast and pizzas and.
I found out how much I weighed when I went to the doctor to get my little annual, mammogram and all that. And I'm 140. And I remember last time I was 147, the last time I went to the doctor. And, I wear waist beads, but I don't own a scale because I don't want nobody telling me what to do. Like, you don't get to tell me you're fat. You need to, like,
Right.
And
I always know, like, as a stylist, I always can look. Like, if something doesn't fit a certain way that it was.
That's the only way that I'll. But
That's
these
the only
waist
way.
beads, because I love them so much, and they're
get tight.
permanent. No, first they'll start coming up.
Yep.
Because they're supposed to hang and do like a draped little sexy thing. That thing was sitting like right here one time, and I like when I laid down, I was like, oh whatever. And I've had to cut like 2 of them. I've had these for like 5 years.
I cut right off.
And then I replaced it, and I said, Bobby, you're not cutting any more of these waist beads. So as soon as I feel it getting tight, I'll start like.
But it was designed like that.
Yeah.
That people don't know that's part of,
when you get the other one, not the ones that stretch, those little.
No, the real ones. The authentic ones.
Yes.
It's for, that weight management and to remind you, like, all right, girl.
You getting a little,
getting a little, okay? Yeah. No, I had to definitely cut my set off after the pandemic. Yeah, during the pandemic after.
Okay, I'm hungry now. Okay, we're gonna wrap all this up. Thank you so much for coming. Can you tell everybody where they can follow you, where they can support you?
Yes, so you can follow us at For the Femme You. You can follow my personal stylist page at Andrea Shops For You. That's all one word, For the Femme You, FORTHEFEMINYOU. You can find out more information about the organization, www.forthefeminu.org.
Okay, also, so I'm about to give my tip, free game if you will, but I wanted to know if you had a tip or some advice for anybody that is toying with the idea of being a vegan. Like, what is something that will probably help them to kind of get started?
Do a 7-day juice cleanse. Like, start there, and just see how you feel. And if you're like, oh, this feels good, then you ease your way back into eating food after that and just make some better decisions. But once you kind of reset your body after that 7 days, you'll be able to tell the difference from there.
And for those like me who are going to always eat meat, but are dairy free or contemplating, I would say do like a meal prep service, because they don't play about you know, the lawsuits and all that liability. So they ask you what your allergens are or things that you don't like. So they'll concoct a menu and go with like a big company like Every Table or not a small mom and pop. Because if you do my meal prep, I'm double and triple the price because it's a team of a couple people and we just can't manufacture all of that. The food is going to be way, way better, but yeah, it's going to cost you. So you might as well just go to a restaurant. But anyway, I digress. So go to a meal prep service and try out some foods, even if it's just to get like examples or ideas on how to cook it for yourself. And then they have those box, if you like to cook, those box things, what is it, Home Chef Blue Apron, stuff like that. And they have deals all the time. They be like, oh, sign up and get 50 free meals or whatever. And that's a good way so that you can physically see the ingredients that they're using. And yeah, that will help you. So thank you so much for all of the gems, for talking. We will see you next time.